So normally I start this series with a silly little gag, then we play the intro, and then I dive into the memes. But since this series kind of serves as a community powwow, get my thoughts out there, I figured I would start this one with my general thoughts about the Pokemon Day reveals. A lot of you probably saw my in-the-moment reaction, but it's been a few days since things were shown, and so I've had more time to collect my thoughts, so I kind of just wanted to start this off by talking about them. First, I want to say Pokemon Champions, fantastic if they do it right. Wolfie VGC has a great video talking about how it's not only beneficial for the competitive scene, but can be beneficial for the single player scene, because when building mechanics for the single player experience, they won't have to worry as much about how balanced it is for the competitive battling side of stuff. So while I am probably not going to engage with Pokemon Champions very much because Pokemon competitive battling is really bad for my mental health, I think it's fantastic that they announced it, and congratulations to all of you who engage more with competitive battling. I just think it's a good thing that they're doing this. As for Legends ZA, I have kind of more mixed thoughts, but I want to clarify before I get into them that anything remotely negative that I have to say about it tends to come down to just my personal preferences, not just like more objective measures of video games. I guess all of it's subjective, but like, you'll understand more in a second when I explain it more clearly. One thing I think is awesome is the new battle system. I was not expecting that at all. I'm really intrigued to see how that goes. It seems like a cool way to do real-time Pokemon battles that aren't just like you fleeing for your life. I also think the game graphically looks pretty good. I've seen some people say that they think it's the best Pokemon has looked on the Switch. I don't know if I agree with that. I think the best Pokemon has looked on the Switch is places in Sword and Shield where the camera is fixed. Like Stow-on Side, really the towns. And a lot of the routes I think look better than at least that trailer showed of Legends ZA. But I do think Legends ZA does not look bad. I think where a lot of my kind of underwhelmedness and like honestly a bit of disappointment that has tempered in the days since seeing it came from, well, I got my expectations in a place that I should not have. Because if you get your expectations and they're not met, then you're kind of bummed. So this is on me. First off, kind of a quick thing. The starters just aren't for me. That's a very subjective measure. I know a lot of people are super hyped about Chikorita, Tepig, Totodile. It's kind of a sharp change from Legends Arceus, where all three Legends Arceus starters were the ones that I chose in my first playthrough of their regions, whereas considering I chose Oshawott and Cyndaquil, none of the ZA starters are ones that I chose my first time through. So none of them are my favorite for the region. So I didn't get any excitement from that. But again, that's very specific to me. I also was like really hoping I'd be right with my predictions, and I didn't get a single one right. Final prediction for the starter trio is Snivy, Scorbunny, and Piplup. Kudos to Loxton. I watched his video explaining the reasoning behind the choices that they made, and he got 2 of the 3 right. He could have gotten the 3rd one right if he had thought it was possible that they would do 2 from the same region. So like, good for him. I was just like, the Napoleon penguin's gonna be in France. Whereas he's like, cookies, a big part of French culture. I was very impressed. I'm like, oh, this is, you're going a lot more deeper than I do, and I'm kudos. But moving on, I think a lot of what I felt when watching the trailer was kind of a sense of like, oh, this is a larger departure from Legends Arceus than I thought it was going to be, which ended up bumming me out a little bit because I love Legends Arceus. It is my favorite modern Switch game. I was partially disappointed that my life was not going to be in danger at all, seemingly. But again, the new battle system, it seems like that's gonna still give me like the more excitement that I liked from Legends Arceus compared to like the turn-based of like, you know, traditional Pokemon. So I think the battle system might make up for the fact that I'm not gonna have to dodge roll away from a giant creature with axes for hands. But I do think I am gonna miss a little bit of the like oh no, the Alpha Rapidash spotted me. You know, I liked having terror in a Pokemon game. It was a fun change of pace. But then also when watching it, I was genuinely shocked that it didn't take place in the past. I was incorrectly under the impression that all Legends games would be prequel stories. They would take place in the past. Legends ZA takes place some amount of years after the events of X and Y, as evidenced by AZ being present as not a vagrant and being with his Floette. And some people I saw saying like, oh, like, you know, it's in the distant future. And I'm like, I think it's just modern day. It's been 12 years since X and Y came out. So like X and Y takes place, let's say 2013. This game's taking place 2025. And I think the fact that it's a modern game was a little disappointing to me because I don't much care for city settings. This is kind of just like a general preference across the board, but I care a lot more about like nature and adventure, and like I really like to get your hands dirty in video games because I don't want to do that in real life. So that's a big reason why Legends Arceus was super appealing to me. You are venturing out into the wilderness, putting your life at risk, seeing these naturalistic environments that, like, you know, before any other cities have been built. And even in like older Pokemon games, you get to go to all these different cities and see like very unique designs, like Four Tree City's my favorite city in Pokemon because I always like tree houses. And so I was, again, expectations, I was expecting that ZA was gonna take place in the past and Lumio City was going to be much less built. So there would be a lot more just kind of natural stuff. So seeing it as just taking place in Paris, a city that supposedly smells like piss, was a bit of a bummer. I do have some worries that I'm going to get a little tired of the same shaped buildings constantly surrounding me. The only other video game that I can think of at the moment that I've played that takes place entirely within one city are the Spider-Man PlayStation games. And I enjoy those games because I get to be Spider-Man. I never really cared about the city because it's just like a city. I can go to that myself. I cannot go to a town where tree houses are the entire everything. At least, maybe I can actually. Maybe one of those exists, but probably just an expensive Airbnb. However, again, I watched a Loxton video talking about how the small map of Lumio City could be a very good thing. He talked a lot about the Yakuza games, which I've never played, and they take place within just like a small city block. So like they have a lot more density to what you can put in there, as opposed to like having wide swaths of open field with nothing really in them, which is a fair criticism of open world, more natural type games. Maybe this will change my opinion about urban environments. I thought he made good points, so I'm feeling less negative about the one city setting than I was before. Also, people have talked about potentially some like catacombs and or sewers to explore. And those are things I would be less interested in doing in real life. Cause sewers, catacombs, So in summation, I was feeling a lot more negative than I expected to on the day of the reveal. Was honestly pretty bummed for a few hours. And then I went to the gym and did some cardio, and then I was like, I'm being dramatic. So I am looking forward to the game. I'm gonna have fun. I know I am, especially again, the new battle system I think is really exciting. I just think the setting is something that isn't as personally appealing to me, but I could end up changing my opinion, and I'm still gonna have fun anyways. Also, I was bummed they didn't show any new forms. Some people said like, oh yeah, they didn't show any new forms with the reveal, the first Legends Arceus trailer. And I was like, they also just announced the game with the first Legends Arceus trailer. We got gameplay, same time. And it's been a year since the last one. But I'm also like, maybe I'm just being impatient. Maybe it's like the first gameplay showcase isn't gonna show any new forms. So I had to tell myself like, I know we're going to get them. I'm just being impatient because it's been a year. I've been spoiled as a Pokemon person, just the reveals happen so much sooner or faster than like other franchises. But anyways, I think that pretty much covers my thoughts on the ZA stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that the city setting is dense and interesting, and I have confidence in the story. Like Scarlet and Violet story was its strong point. But I think I've rambled enough. Let's dive in to Pokemon Meme Review. play the intro.
Leave your entries in the subreddit PokeFans. Now watch submissions in the next episode. ASPITPIAY.
Welcome to the March 2025 episode of ASPITPIAY. At some point in the past, I asked you. We're gonna start off here on my subreddit r/MandJTV, sorted by top in the past month. So there'll be some stuff about ZA, but a lot of stuff that is not. I hate when this happens. Me going into battle with a gym trainer. Their Pokemon's type doesn't match the gym's type. Agreed. What are you doing there? Guy in Brock's gym that has a Sandshrew? Before shower, after shower. Yeah, in my reaction, I was very alarmed. I had a big reaction to just him. It's always the opposite gender. Jesus Christ! That's some Resident Evil stuff. Like, he looks so spooky. And it wasn't because I forgot that he was tall. Like, I knew that he was preposterously tall. It was just like seeing him in like a 3D with everything kind of to scale, which you really only see very briefly at the very end of X and Y. It just like startled me. Also, something I saw pointed out is that he attaches stuff to his clothes so they fit him. Like, he's got sewn on parts in the middle of his like suit pants to make the pants long enough to fit his 9-foot body. I like how Colress committed several war crimes in Unova and then shows up 2 games later like it never happened. Alola is fascinating. I believe that I will stay in Alola for some time. I am wanted for war crimes in Unova. I mean, that's a pretty common just anime trope in general. The really, really bad guy gets a redemption arc despite definitely not deserving one. Some people are saying that about AZ. It's like, oh yeah, just like the guy who killed thousands, maybe even millions, just gets to own a hotel. I guess that's like somewhat fair. I also do think the statute of limitations has passed, considering it was, what, 3,000 years prior? If some dude from Rome, 1000 BC, was still alive today, I feel like I'd be like, it was a different time. No, I don't, okay. I don't actually think I would react like that. But I also just understand that, like, anime likes to forgive their war criminals. Dr. Duvenschmertz, a Pokeball? Voltorb the Pokeball! Nice. I did see this already, art by Kelp Chief. I think this is so funny. Yippee, we're going to Kalos! Ah! Like, the way they draw Cyndaquil is so funny. Actually, all of them. Look at Chikorita's face. Well, this one is certainly something. I thought Poppy was like 4 and looked up her actual age somewhat recently. She's 9? That is older than I thought. I like how this is damn kids age fast in the Pokemon universe when like one of the people in this picture is very, very famous for not aging at all. Okay, so this poster did not credit the artist, at least not in the title, and they should have. However, I know who this artist is because I follow them on Instagram and they have a very distinct style. This is I Draw Shizzle, and they make great work. You should follow them. But now let's read this one, which I don't think I've actually seen. You guys are so unoriginal. Pick a different secondary typing. Charizard talking about being original. Why are you here? I mean, fighting is like my job. What about you, Scorbunny? Whose side are you on? You. Oh goodness. Uses of a frying pan. I use it to fry. Use it as a drying pan. Use it to stop an effing Dragonite. I feel like there could have been a pun here. Like a stop flying pan. See guys, memes aren't that hard. Best way of using the Gardevoir plush. Sitting there? It's not going to drive you, I don't understand. Any meme saying that none of the Pokemon's protagonists' dads are around. It's a pretty standard meme on Meme Review. Watch this. Why he's gonna say Norman is still around. Norman is still around. I mean, it's true. There's no way Pokemon did this. Professor Sycamore, did you? Yeah, I have seen some posts about this and the resemblance is striking. I can't explain it though. I hate the fedora on the guy so much. Maybe you saw my tweet about this. He looks like a slimy street magician. It looks cute on the girl, but on the guy, I feel like maybe it's because it's a black hat on black hair, but like I am getting rid of that fedora at the earliest opportunity. Take a chill pill. My brother-in-law Koos, I can't. Okay, this is a solid twist on this format. I gave myself a Stellar Terra Frigibax, and this is what Nimona says when you get the Terra Orb for the first time. Wait, really? That's fun? After it terrestrializes, I'm pretty sure your Frigibax will be a type. That's so funny, because I guess they're in normal gameplay, you wouldn't be able to have a Stellar Terra type Pokemon that early in the game. What a fun little circumventation you did. It'll be a type. Tepig has the opportunity to do something really funny. Yeah, another fire ghost. That would be funny if it then tied firefighting. I hope not, just for variety's sake. Gosh, I have no idea what starter I'm gonna choose. Of the three, like, assuming no changes, Totodile is my favorite. I prefer Cyndaquil, but I do generally like Totodile and Feraligatr. But I gotta see what the final forms look like, because that's what I'm gonna spend the most time with by far. Again, there's a lot of debate about whether they're gonna do like regional forms or megas. My prediction is regional forms for the Chikorita, Tepig, Totodile trio, megas for the Kalos starters, but we will have to see because as they've demonstrated, they are not very predictable for most people, but me, I'm not good at predicting them. But if they make a regional Emboar that's down on all fours, and we get a big mean boar that doesn't look, frankly, very odd, I just like imagine Emboar if you removed the fire. It's just like, it's like, it looks like a torso top where then a head should be there. But it's just like, But if it's on all fours and it's a big mean pig, a big mean war pig, boar, Pumbaa, I'm on board. I'm not apologizing, that was pretty good. I just came up with that. The chance of the 2032 asteroid hitting Earth is 3.1%. Shiny hunters. Oh. MandJTV fans. Oh. We'll be fine, don't freak out. Hank Green has a good video. It's like, even if it hits Earth, like the most likely place it lands is in the ocean. And it would only be as powerful as like nuclear bombs we have already detonated on the planet. When I say we, I mean humanity. I had no role in those. Chikorita getting her time to shine. Tepig getting their time to shine. Totodile, already been a fan favorite being from the same generation as another and already having a strong final evo. This is a bad take. If it hasn't ever gotten any kind of form, then it is fair game. I'm surprised it's two from the same region, but like, Totodile doesn't have a mega or a regional form, so like, it should be allowed to be there. We've got a Dorkly comic here. Chikorita, that's the lamest one. It looks like a fetus with a leaf glued on its head. I've never had that take. Plus, you'll only be good against the water type, even if its type advantage is lame. Reminder, humans are 65% water. I thought it was higher than that. F with a Chikorita, and your ass is grass. Congratulations again to Chikorita fans. Like father, like daughter. Oh man, if I had a nickel, when you hear your pet chewing something, pretty good. My former friend, oh no. You're playing Pokemon? Of course. Isn't that game for children? Me and every other Pokemon fan in a 1,000 kilometer radius. I mean, yeah, for children is a complicated term. Like, there's for children stuff that's like, only children could possibly enjoy. But then there's for children stuff that anyone can enjoy. I love RPG video games. Oh really? Name 30 RPG games. Pokemon. That's on me, I set the bar too low. That's pretty good. This is you, right? Yup. You're 9 years old, right? Yup. Your Pokemon journey starts when you're 10, therefore you shouldn't have a Pokemon yet. Makes sense to me. Why are you an Elite Four member? Because I want to. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the laws have gotten lax. I mean, you've always been able to battle like preschoolers, which is just kind of funny that you can do that. Maybe the 10-year-old is just like an anime exclusive thing. Or there's regional laws. Maybe it's 9 in Paldean, she's just a freaking prodigy. Me looking at people saying ZA looks bad, I did like that Gyarados' attitude. I will just say it now. I know this isn't gonna stop anything, but my personal take on this is just like, people are gonna have their opinions. As long as their opinions don't get to like defending it no matter what, without any entertainment of any kind of criticism, or hating it no matter what, without like taking into account anything that looks positive. Like, as long as you just is like, people may say, yeah, they think it looks bad. I mean, I explained earlier in this video, I just don't personally like city settings, So I'm not as excited about the game as, you know, a lot of other people, and that's fine. Like, if you're more excited than me, great. If you're like, I think I'm gonna skip this one, also fine. As long as you like let other people have their opinions and just try not to let other people's opinions impact yours. Like, yeah, there's gonna be negativity in both directions. There's gonna be negativity towards the people who had negativity. It's just like, the less time you spend on social media, the better. But my videos don't count as social media. You can spend as much time watching those as possible. I'm kidding, live your lives. But like, my videos don't count as social media. But if you spend less time on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, it's probably better for you. Go for a run or a brisk walk. That's what I do. Power walk with an incline, because running hurts my knees. And also, if you're gonna say, oh my God, he's got knee problems, that's like an old person thing, ha ha ha. The knee's been giving me problems since I was in college, okay? Do a lot of knees over toes guy exercises. My thighs and calves got so big that I had to buy different pants. That was a subtle flex, I hope you caught it. Pokemon, the Pokedex entry carrying the Pokemon versus Lion discussion. What? I think Pokemon is perfectly fine without the Pokemon versus Lion discussion. Or are they saying that carries the debate? I don't know. If I never have to see a Pokemon versus Lion mention again, it will have been too soon. Come on, man, get some fight in ya. Light a fire under your ass. My brother Nakus, I can't. I am 4 times weak to fighting in fire. All right, probably this meme format is not gonna be funny again after this episode, but I am enjoying the wordplay at the moment. Pokemon X and Y. Chose the name X and Y as it represents the X and Y coordinate grid, which is symbolic as these are the first 3D mainline Pokemon games. Elon Musk, Twitter is now X because Twitter is still Twitter. Pokemon X over Platform X any day. Pretty good. You're a girl, right? Yes. You're a girl, right? Yes. Fun. Does anyone else actually choose the male main character in Pokemon games? Yes. Like, millions of people do. Some guys play as female characters, some girls play as boy characters. Like, just play whatever. It's an RPG. You're playing a role. And the role I like to play is to put myself in the world, so that's why I tend to make my characters look somewhat like me. If only there was a letter in Paris that resembles the Eiffel Tower. Paris, bonjour. I think I've seen this meme before, but I'm allowing it to be present again because of ZA. Concept for an MandJTV Pokemon fan game. The player character is Mikey and the rival is John. Excellent. And you can never beat the rival because he's so much better at battling than I am. The evil team, the main, huh? You know how in recent Pokemon games there's an evil team but they're not actually evil and the main villain is someone else? This is that. Nice. Gym leaders. Normal gym. That's the first? Okay, wait, maybe these aren't in order. You can't have Milkman Mike as the first one. Bug gym, nice. Ice gym, excellent. Have I covered all of them? Fairy gym, dark gym, grass gym. Oh, the 5th gym would start the tradition of having megas in their teams. Nice. The electric gym and the mixed gym. Ah. Orange retires and becomes a gym leader. That's sick. The champion is Grunty Boy. I love this. This is very fun. Lumio City citizens, when you send out your 700-pound hippo on the roof at 6 a.m. This reminds me of that meme when Sword and Shield were pretty new. Like when you live near a stadium and they're like trying to sleep and it's with like the kaiju roars. This reminds me of that. Who would win, the Persian army or an army of Persian? I think the Persian army. Well, I guess I don't know enough about history, but I think bows and arrows would do a lot against Persians. But then of course they could they double team. Never mind, I'm going with the Pokemon. Doing a Nuzlocke. Doing a monotype run where you get really into character, pretending to be obsessed with the type, and that is despising any type that is super effective against the type. Mikey. Yeah. Although we're almost done with it actually. A hardcore randomized Nuzlocke on John Michael & Co. with PM7. So if you do want to see me do a Nuzlocke, that's the closest you're gonna get, is me Googling stuff for John. Diantha watching as her region burns around her as Lysander almost commits mass murder of her whole region. Yeah, not my favorite champion. Although this does remind me, because ZA is taking place after the events of X and Y, we will get to see new aged designs of the major X and Y characters, at least some of them. Like, we're definitely gonna see an older Clement and Bonnie. Maybe not Bonnie, but definitely Clement. I mean, he's the gym leader of the town that the whole game takes place in. So that's fun. I guess I didn't consider that until this very moment. Pokemon Presents mobile games, ads, and updates, what we're actually here for. Pretty much. It was a little different this time because they threw in Pokemon Champions, which we weren't expecting. But yeah, I'm like, as I'm sitting watching that, I'm like, my God, there are so many of these mobile games. And I don't play any of them. Me, when I got the Pokemon autism instead of the being good at math or science autism, I got both. It's now time for the curated slideshow. Holy Leprechaun. Nice. Me and my friends have been working on the Bori region, and here are the starters. Ooh, I like lizards. Oh, it's a frog. It still works for me. Oh my God, it definitely works for me. That's so sick. Oh my God, give me this Pokemon immediately. Not as cool, but I still like it. Oh, that's an interesting angle. Fire Fairy. Hell yeah. Okay, yeah, the frog's my favorite. Oh, what happened to it? Is it stuck in a building? I think you have a fan base. Protagonists? Hey, you wouldn't happen to be interested to join Team Sky, would you? Oh my God, a comic! No way! A Team Sky Happy Meal! I didn't get one. For me? Oh, this is awesome. It's the tears, the blush, it's the sparkles. Very good. John 6'2", Mikey 5'11". I'm not 5'11". 5'11" and 3/4. You're just 6. Any shoe. I got 6 feet on my freaking driver's license. Also, I've been doing posture exercises. I actually probably am 6 feet tall now. I know they're working because I was in my car the other day and the top part of the steering wheel is now obscuring the top of my speedometer. And I'm like, oh, that didn't used to happen. Because you think about it, if you slouch, your point of view allows you to see it better. I don't know why this came to mind. Show me the Chad of Pokemon. So the real Chad of Pokemon. Perfection. Yeah. Go Wolfie. I drew all 151 original Pokemon from Gen 1 in my stupid art style. Well, I don't think it's the Snorlax is spectacular. That is very good. I caught my eye promptly. Is the Muck wearing glasses? This is excellent. I don't want to say you could sell stickers of these because I don't know if that's technically allowed, but if you got away with it, you might be good. Relax, your landlord won't live forever to increase your rent, my landlord. I very rarely post my art to Reddit, but I made some fan art of Mikey versus the Trouble Trio. Terrible 3, what are we calling these guys? Don't know, but they are my enemies. As I've said before in a previous video at some point or another, if we find a Pokemon that I hate, starts with B and then H, we make it a group of 5. We just call it MKBHD, who I do not hate at all, but it is just funny that we've got 3 of the 5 letters right here. Also, this is just sick art that looks so menacing. And I look buff, honestly. Hell yeah. I made a custom Mega Electivire. Wow, he's so lightning. I like the switch to electric blue. I would love to see an electric type Pokemon go Mega and turn that color. By the way, there was one more announcement regarding Pokemon Legends ZA. But what is it? It was, yeah, no one's talking about this because no one has any idea what it is. I didn't even mention it because I'm just like, new promotion match? What is this? It's just like it looks like it's teasing part of the plot is just gonna be like some kind of like gym battle or like ranked battle system within the game story. Kind of like in like the Journeys arc of the anime where you just like, rather than collecting badges, he just did promotional matches against big name trainers to like rank high enough to then get into like the champion tournament. That's kind of my guess. I don't know, it was a very strange last teaser. Pretty good. Ooh, a Rotom bus right on the Magic School Bus. Fantastic. Wait, why is its base stat total only 440? Buff that up. Buff that up immediately. The other Rotom forms are like 500 something, and the bus one might even need to be higher. Ooh, my Team Sky OC. Hell yeah. Oh my God, prosthetic wing for the Noivern. How creative. I like the spray paint logo on it. Based on Mikey's reaction to the trailer. Or it easier to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture. Okay, I do need to immediately clarify something. A lot of people were very thirsty for Lady Demetrius, whatever her name is. I was not one of those people, which means I would react similarly to both her and AZ of like, oh my God, they're big. 5 of my favorite Pokemon is regional variants with the ice type. Well, 4 and a conversion though, still ice type. Hell yeah, what do we got here? An ice type Venusaur. Is that like a snow globe? That's interesting. It's like a snowy Mimikyu, I think. Pinkaton, that's fun. The icy Blaze. I like how the Blazikid's got his head as his pockets. That's so fun. And then that last one, I'm having trouble telling what that one is. It's cute, but I don't immediately, like the eyes make me think a Drifloon, but that is definitely not a balloon. Forgive me for my ignorance. Whoa, a Colossian Imbor. How many will get the reference? Not me. I dig it, but I do not get the reference. Aw. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Aw. Hell yeah. That's very good. They're like right after each other. 2 very cute drawings. One of them is me. Me when I watched the first half of the Pokemon Presents. Yep. I'm not playing the mobile game. Sorry, y'all. Last time there was a Johto starter too. Oh yeah? Yeah, but they got him. What does that mean? I liked him too. What do you mean they got him? This is an excellent reference. I've seen almost nothing from the TED TV show, but that clip where they're like, yeah, there was like another kid here last year too, but they got him. What? What do you mean they got him? I liked him too. What do you mean? Just very good. Ooh, Team Night Sky. Terrifying. So much eyeshadow. Team Sky, an application. I've been watching since I was 9, I'm now 21. Oh my God, I'm incredibly flattered and feel old. When you were, wait, that's, how many years is that? 12? So you've been watching since like, how old is Ash Ketchum? Damn, you're definitely a part of Team Sky. I don't even care that the Espeon's there. And I do not know what that is on the top left. It looks like an Espeon and a Dragapult fusion. I like it. Welcome to the team. And honestly, you've probably been on it the whole time. Me when Chikorita might actually be good in a main release. Yep, congratulations, Chikorita fans. I myself I'm not a Chikorita fan, but I'm somewhat of a Bayleaf and a Meganium fan, sort of. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I like them, but like they just kind of stink. And I like Bayleaf a lot more than Meganium because Bayleaf's got a sick head leaf and they replaced that with silly little antenna. I know they're like the things on a flower that stick out, but they just look so much less cool than Bayleaf's head leaf. So if we get a Meganium that looks like strong, gets a big head leaf, maybe I go with that. I'm very undecided still. Fun will be judgment. Dang, son. The Pokemon are looking very expressive, at least in the shots that they showed. And I am looking forward to seeing that. I think they'll be able to, one thing that, again, Loxton pointed out in his video is that if you have an environment that's a city like this, you can't see very far into the distance. And so therefore, things on the other side of the buildings, they just don't render. And then they can render things in more detail on the street that you're on, which is not something I'd considered. And so I think that could be a very good positive of the city environment. And it allows for maybe some great meme potential of sassy Pokemon like this. What pattern are the legend starters gonna follow? That's the neat part, there isn't one. Yep, they got me, which stinks, because patterns help me make YouTube videos. But it's fine, it's gonna be fun. I mean, they could do the last Alola and Unova starters that are missing. So like the next Legends game could be Snivy, Litten, and Poplio. But who the hell knows? Oh, I love my Johto Fire starter. Okay, this is very cute art style. Grunty boy! Hello, good sir. My God, look at all those chains and spikes. I'm terrified, yet also charmed. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for this beefy episode of Pokemon meme review. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys for the next episode next month.